Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I have a quest for England. But I'm not out exploring at the moment because, well, we're all in lockdown. There's this virus going around and we've all been advised to stay indoors. So I'm staying indoors, but I'm not letting it defeat me. And today, in my search for England, I want to plant the seeds of a plant which I think sums up the English cottage, the English countryside very, very well. I've seen them when out walking. You go through a village and there you see these lovely old timber frame cottages and they've got these flowers, these magnificent flowers growing quite tall. They look like triffids, but they're not triffids, they're hollyhocks. And last year I was determined that I would have some hollyhocks in my garden, but I was told by my friend Richard Suggett of the Veg Grower podcast that it was the wrong season to start planting them. I had to wait till about March, April time. Well, it's the end of March, it's nearly in April, the sun has been shining, it's a bit windy today, but that doesn't matter. I have got some hollyhock seeds. I'm very excited about giving this a whirl. So what I'm going to do, and I'm not really a green-fingered person by any means, so I may completely and utterly cock this up. But as there's nobody here to guide me, I'm going to give it a whirl. I've got some seeds. First of all, these are seeds which I ordered online, and it turns out they came from China. Ah! Probably got the virus all over them. No, I did get them last year, well before the virus came out, so panic not. My very good friend Kevin Hall sent me an envelope with what he says are hollyhock seeds. But when I open up this little piece of paper, I actually find that what's in here is totally different to this. So I can only assume these are either two different plants, or one isn't hollyhocks and I've made a mistake, or one is hollyhocks and he's made a mistake, or the Chinese people sent me the wrong thing by mistake, or they are the same thing but there's just a different size issue. So let's give it a whirl, shall we? Right, now, fertiliser is the first thing. Now, I'm, as I say, not green-fingered, so I nipped over to the supermarket, which is right behind me, and I had a look around. There was a whole load of choices. There were big bags, there were medium-sized bags, and actually there were quite some small-sized bags. But I have no idea what the difference is in any of these things, so I plumped for the middle-sized bag. After all, I've got to carry it, and I haven't got to do that much potting. So I've gone for this here, which it does say on it, and I don't know whether it's the right type, but it says planting and potting mix. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that that will do it. Also, pots. Yes, I know I'm a bit potty myself, but round the garden I have got these because I was determined at some point to actually get on and do some potting and make the garden look really nice. The back garden, that is, which is really my wood store. And I have got numerous empty pots. So it's into those that I've been advised by Mr. Suggett to sprinkle the seeds and shove them in there, shove them in water and wait for the little buds to come up. And then once the buds come, is it the buds or the seedlings, or I don't know what you call them, well, whatever it is, the shoots, that'll be what it's called, the shoots. Once the shoots have come up, then I can stick them in my front garden, and over time they will be right up here like little pansy faces, big, but not pansy, hollyhock faces, you know what I mean. Now, what makes a video about planting seeds really, really interesting is not really to show the planting of the seeds, because I keep getting told that, oh, planting seeds is very boring. So I don't know how I can make this not boring, but I have got a reasonably sharp knife and I'm going to try and get my way into this bag and try and make this a little bit more entertaining in some fashion. I'm not quite sure now. Oops. Probably going to end up a mess. Now, I mustn't lose my seeds, which are very important, obviously, because they're the things. The thing is, I don't know I don't know whether, you know, because in nature, I'm assuming what happens is the hollyhocks will produce their seeds however they produce their seeds, and they'll fall to the ground. So I don't know whether you're supposed to just sprinkle them on the top and hope for the best, or actually bury them a bit below the surface. So I'm going to bury them a bit below the surface just in case I sneeze and a bit of COVID-19 covers them and they go, "Wah!" Which we don't want, naturally. So first thing to do is to get some mud, or whatever you call this, compost, shove it in these, like this. I have to say, it's quite dry old soil, this. Right, there we are, nearly got it done. I don't know how many of these to do, or actually how many seeds to put per pot. I'm going to guess that I could sprinkle in some of those little titchy tiny ones and then perhaps put 3 or 4 of the slightly bigger ones in it. I've still got a few more pots. Now, you're going to have to excuse the terrible mess of the kitchen. It's a project that's ongoing. It's been going on, how long have I been in the house? 30 years. Yes, it's been a project that's been going on for 30 years. Right, just a couple more pots, and then I think we can get planting the seeds. Oh, the excitement mounts. There we go. I've managed to get myself all ordered and organised, and I've even swept up the mess that I've made on the floor. But that's not getting the seeds sown. So, see what I did there? Right, so I'm going to start with the big ones first of all. I'm just going to shove them on the top of each of these. If I can get into this pathetic little bag, that is. Can't get in the bag. Bloody stupid thing. Right. They are curious little things. Probably didn't see that, probably out of focus. So I'm just going to sprinkle some on the tops, 3 or 4 in each of these. I'm not doing this by any mathematical calculation. I am just literally sprinkling, as you saw. Perfect. Next, I'm going to do a similar sort of thing with the seeds, and I'm just going to sprinkle those in. Now, any proper gardener out there is going to be absolutely horrified, I'm sure, that I'm doing this all completely wrong, but I don't care. And then I'm just going to sprinkle a bit more stuff over the top, and then give it some water, and hopefully that will be enough. So a little sprinkle on there, sprinkle on there. Oop, that was rather a lot. Sprinkle on there, sprinkle on there, sprinkle on there. I mean, I am hoping these are the same seeds, because if they're not, we're in trouble. Well, they look all right to me. Who knows? Who knows? So, just going to shove a bit more of the compost on the top, and I'm going to give them some water. And then I don't have a greenhouse, you see, so I'm wondering, should I keep them inside, or should I just leave them outside in a place where the wind and the birds and the rats can't get to them? I wonder if or I could put them on my windowsill. I suppose that's the other idea, isn't it? Well, that was exhausting. But I've got them all on the windowsill now, and they're going to start to grow. At least that's what I hope, but I don't know. So here's a question for the Veg Grower podcast, if you're watching. I want to know, hollyhocks, I've planted them, they're in my windowsill. How often do I have to water them? And when will I expect to see the green shoots come crawling out from all that fertiliser? Not fertiliser, what do you call it? Compost. When does it come up from there? And then, how tall do you think I have to leave them until I can take them and put them in my front garden? Now, I should explain, for those that don't know, my garden is a Victorian house garden. I am in a terrace, and it's a 2 up, 2 down, with a garden about 6 foot long, with a hedge that's dying, and a load of clutter on the ground. So I've got to tidy up all the clutter. I've got to sort out the hedge, which is why I'm not showing you the situation, because it's a mess. And then when these plants are ready, I've just got to work out where to put them in and how long it will take for them to establish. So if you could answer all those questions, that would be fantastic. Also, I have an Essie Ironheart, which is a stove which I cook my dinner with, and I'm forever chopping up wood, and I end up with all these wood shavings and odd bits of tiny splinters of wood when I'm making kindling and that sort of thing. And I wondered, could I use that as a, you know, you can buy this stuff from the garden centres as a kind of covering, isn't it? I don't know what you would call it, some sort of nice covering. I wonder if that would be a great covering to put down to stop the weeds, but only encourage the plants that I'm doing. I would be interested to know that. You see, with this lockdown that we've got where we're all isolated, I can imagine up and down the countryside there's going to be a competition at some point, isn't there, where who's got the best kept garden? We've got no excuse. What are we doing? We're doing absolutely nothing all day long, so we may as well be out in our gardens, as the skies have been blue, and try and improve bits and pieces. Of course, we can't go down to the amenity tips because they're all shut up. So maybe I could cut my hedge up, stick it on the Essie, and it would all disappear in smoke. Who knows? Anyway, we will see what the answers are, and if anybody's got any comments, then please leave them in the description. That would be absolutely fantastic. But that's it. Short and sharp little one today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to follow, like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. If you've got any comments, then do let me know. I do try to read all the comments. I can't always now reply to all the comments, but I usually put a little heart on there. So yeah, thanks very much. And I will see you on the next one. And of course, watch out for the updates because the hollyhocks will soon be growing. Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.